Have you ever heard the phrase, I wish I could buy them for what they're worth and then sell them for what they think they're worth? Well, there's a major cruise line out there right now that has made so many changes recently that they're definitely starting to fit into that scenario. We're going to talk about it coming up right now on Cruising on Comps. Hello again, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. And if you're new here, my name is Chris. This is Cruising on Comps. And today, folks, we're going to dive into some disappointing news that is just stacked on top of other disappointing news. And this has to do with Carnival dropping AARP discounted gift cards. Now, some of you may not be aware, but for the longest of times, you could purchase a Carnival gift card through the AARP website. You had to be a member, but you could purchase one at a 10% discount. So for $500 or for a $500 valued gift card, you only had to pay $450. And for a lot of people, myself included, this was a great way to kind of cut down on the overall cost of a Carnival cruise. Well, unfortunately, they have decided to cease doing that. And how I found out about it and how many of my followers found out about it was through AARP, not Carnival. So I want to kind of discuss that change as well as many other changes that Carnival has made and why I think the big hiccup here is how Carnival is going about doing this. So let's jump in and talk about what Carnival's doing as a business and some of the decisions that they're making and why, in my opinion, it's really going to affect them negatively in the long run. So I'm not a big drinker, but through the casino offers I have, I get free drinks everywhere on the ship. So I take advantage of that as I can. However, it's my understanding that for those of you out there that do purchase the drink package, it's actually went through 2 price increases over the last 3 to 4 months. And it's currently at like $84 a day. Obviously, the drinks themselves haven't changed. Now, the cost of alcohol certainly has went up, as with everything else. But this is a price hike that's apparently happened twice over the last 3 to 4 months. And to my knowledge, I'm on Carnival's email list. There was not any indication that this change was going to take place before it took place. The second thing is the internet. Now, if you've ever been on a cruise and you've used the internet, you know it leaves a lot to be desired to begin with. But there's been increases in the Wi-Fi package cost on Carnival. And again, this is not something, to my knowledge, that was announced prior. It just happened. You find out about it when you could have got it for this, and then all of a sudden, it's this. The other thing is taking away things like pizza, stopping serving pizza at midnight, and you can go to the buffet and get pizza. And I mean, let's be honest, the pizza, if you haven't had it yet, that is on the midnight buffet, it's leaves a lot to be desired as well. So, these are just a few of the changes that have taken place where I'm paying a price for something and what I'm getting in return is being reduced. The prices are going up on cruises themselves for somebody like me that cruises on casino offers because I spend my money in the casino. My offers are being reduced. The cost of the offers that I have are going up. The amount of available sailings that I have to use those on are being reduced. So there's a lot of reduction in value going on, but at the same time, there's an increase in price. And just the latest iteration of that is this AARP gift card situation. And here's my problem. My problem is not that these changes are taking place. My problem is how Carnival is going about doing it. So I know many of you probably don't know because I've never really mentioned it on the channel, but I own a business and I have owned and operated a business for quite a while. And one of the key factors that I've always taken into play in building my business and my clientele is I want to underpromise and over-deliver. If I'm going to do business with a client of mine and they come to me and tell me, hey, I definitely need this by Friday, I'm going to tell them you'll definitely have it by Friday. And then I'm going to do everything in my power to try to get it to them by Wednesday. The reason I do that is because it creates additional value in what I do for my client. We have an agreeable price of what I'm going to do something for them for. And then I want to create additional value in doing that. And just getting it back to them a couple of days early creates that additional value. Another thing I do is I deal with price increases just like any other business would deal with a price increase. But what I do is I communicate well ahead of time to my customer, hey, just so you know, I'm going to have to raise prices. This is why. I'm going to send them an email or I'm going to make a phone call to explain to them, this is coming, this is why. But an additional thing I'm going to do is I'm also going to say, look, you're a loyal customer to me. You're very important to me. And I enjoy doing business with you. And I obviously want to continue to do that. So here's what I'm going to do for you, my loyal customer. Because I'm going to have this price increase, I want to let you know 2 months in advance. And I want to go ahead and tell you that if you want to go ahead and purchase a package of whatever now, but you don't need it until after the price increase, I will honor the current price for you, even if you choose to use that package months later. And the reason I do that is because it helps create loyalty. I'm providing value to my client and saying, look, you're important to me and I can't survive as a business without you. So I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that I do the things necessary. So you look at me first when you need the things that I do for you. This is something that I've learned over several years of being a business owner. And unfortunately, what I see in these very large companies is a lot of situations where they just think their clients, the consumer, are dumb and they're not going to notice. And we notice, we notice these things. So it's going to come down to a situation where, as a business owner, if I'm sitting down with a client and we have a disagreement on price or something like that, I can look my client honestly in the face and say, hey, I've been upfront, forthright with you. Where can we come to an agreement? And I can honestly do that. I can lay my head down at night and go to sleep knowing that I'm being fair, honest, and true with my customer base. When you're not doing that, when you're not communicating things to your consumers, you're putting yourself into a position most likely where a lot of those consumers, maybe not the new ones because they just don't know yet, but your loyal customer base is going to start going, am I getting what I'm paying for? And if there's a competitor out there that has a comparable price, but I know my experience is going to include a lot more value, why would I not make that change? So what you're doing now, if you're that business, making those changes and not communicating them to your customer base, is you're setting yourself up, in my opinion, that in the long run, it's going to come back and bite you in the butt. This also equates to the casino offers. And the changes in how many points you had to have to get certain perks on the cruise ships. And then in addition to that, the all over the place point values you're going to need to get in order to be able to get comp cruises. For me personally, I'm not going to gamble $5,000 to get a $1,500 cruise. It just doesn't make any sense. I'm going to do everything I can to try to get as close to that value mark as possible, or I'm just going to buy the cruise outright. And if you don't think that people like us, consumers, whether they're gamblers or not, are not actively pursuing other options, and we're not on the, we've signed up for those other options email newsletters and deals and promos and things like that. I get emails every single day from virtually every major cruise line out there. And that gives me the information to be able to sit down and go, this particular company that I've never sailed with before, but I know people who have, and they say that this experience is well beyond what this other cruise line is offering me for virtually the same price, or maybe a slight increase in cost. But again, everything I'm getting in return is way more valuable than what I'm getting with this cruise line I've been loyal to. Then I'm going to make some changes. And that's where I'm at right now. That's where a lot of people are at right now. This AARP thing is disappointing simply because I found out about it from AARP, not from Carnival. Carnival, I'm on your email list. Send out an email at the beginning of December. Hey, just so you know, starting January the 1st of 2025, we are going to be discontinuing selling gift cards through AARP. But if you want to buy them over the next month, we will honor them even if you use them after January the 1st. It's a very simple thing to do that shows your loyal customer base that you actually care about them and you value them. And the way you're going about it leaves that scenario in question. Do you value me? Do you value all of the people that are going to be watching this video or videos like it all over YouTube? Do you value us? Are we valuable to you? We should be, because without us, you're going to be in financial trouble very quick. All I'm personally asking is just communicate with me. Be upfront with me. Be honest with me, because when you're not, that's when I am going to start considering spending my money somewhere else. So that's my stance. I want to know your stance, though. Let me know in the comments. What are your thoughts about this? What are your thoughts about all the changes? Are you considering moving to a different cruise line or just a different vacation type altogether because of these things that have happened? Do you still see value in what you get from Carnival versus what you're paying? Let me know. Let's talk about it in the comments. Other than that, I really appreciate you watching. And again, if you're new here, I talk about cruise content and I talk about gambling in general and give gambling advice on how to maximize cruise comps so you can get those vacations cheaper than what they would normally cost and maximize the value of those. So if you haven't subscribed already, I'd love it if you'd do so. Other than that, I really appreciate you watching. Thank you so much. And I'll see you next time on Cruising on Comps.